really.
I'd like to welcome everyone to our August 11th, 2022 meeting of the Camden County Board of Education. Asking if there is any consideration of open session agenda changes.
Yes, I would request that you move consent agenda item C, revised policies, to action agenda item F.
Any other considerations? Seeing none, I entertain a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Ida to accept the August 11th, 2022 meeting of the Camden County Board of Education agenda as amended. Seconded by Dr. Banks. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. I'd like to ask everyone to take a moment of silence. Thank you. Public comment.
Yes, sir, we do have one person signed up.
All right. Citizens who signed up to address the board will be called up in sign-up order. Each individual speaker will be allowed 3 minutes for remarks. Issues or concerns involving personal complaints related to identifiable school personnel or student matters are not appropriate for this public forum. After 30 minutes of public hearing, any speakers remaining will be recognized at the end of the agenda. And Mr. Is it Delford Briley, did I say that correctly? Thank you.
I missed the last meeting. I was concerned about the site 343. I think it's understood that the land was not suitable to build a school on. I think the county needs to look at that again just to make sure that all the students, the parents, and taxpayers are getting their money's worth. I mean, I think there's an issue with the land. Everybody knows that. And I think somebody asked a question about how much would it cost to go back and put a Band-Aid on it and make it buildable. Don't know what the money is. It sounds to me like it's between $5 to $7 million. That's fine. That's putting a Band-Aid on it. I've been in construction for 40 some years. I'm telling you, it's a Band-Aid. If you want to put a thing there, it's going to look like, if you want to go look and see what the road's going to look like on 343, go up on 158 and you see where they did the same thing there. They undercut it. They undercut the road, and you're going to have the same issues there. It's going to sink. You guys might be happy today. They might love you today because you got a school, but in 10 years, they're going to hate you because taxpayers are going to be paying more money to fix that school when it starts cracking. Don't believe me. Ask around before you make a decision. That's all I asked. I know I listened to the other meeting up there at the other place last couple weeks ago, and the highway. I know y'all sent a survey out to certain people. I guess it had their number into the school system, I believe is what I was told. And you got response that most people wanted on 343. Do they all know exactly the reason why 158 was even considered? Or they just say, I don't know what the survey said. I didn't get it, but does it say, do you want to put a school on 158, or does it say, do you want to put on 343? Does it say why you don't want to put it on 343? Because the land was not suitable to build on. Does anybody know that, or I'm just asking?
survey simply ask if they would like to see the school built on the original 343 site
Right.
or the site on 158 that was being considered? And then it asked what was their relationship to the school district, whether they were a parent or guardian, a staff member or other. It did not give them an opportunity to say why they chose.
So nobody knew that it was, unless you read the paper or somebody told you that it was unsuitable land to build on. And it was bought years ago as a big mistake for the county. They bought a wooded area that was never tested for land. I don't want you guys to make the same mistake again and put a Band-Aid on it, and then 10 years from now, we got to go in and repair it. The taxpayer is not going to be happy. And this, it came up about the traffic on 158. I don't know when the survey was done. Nobody could tell me that, but it was done. The traffic control. It's the same traffic that you have on 158 that you have up here. Most of the people coming from there come by here. This school's been here for many, many years. I don't see a big traffic problem here. The traffic problem is on 343 at the Grandy Primary School and the intermediate school. So my suggestion is to take the money, the extra net probably of $3 or $4 million, instead of putting it in the ground over there to get the land fixed, is to put that money into some way to fix the 343 school that we already have an issue up there with the Grandy Primary and the intermediate school. Nobody wants to do anything about it, but cars sit out there every day. There's more cars that go to that school, both of those schools, than there is that go to this school. Everybody's worrying about everybody driving. Yes, there's 600 students in this class or in this school. Only 300 can drive because the other ones are in the 9th and 10th grade. They don't have driver's license. There's more than 150 cars going to those schools every day on a 2-lane highway trying to get into a parking spot. And everybody knows one day somebody's going to get killed up there, and then they're going to do something about it. Now's the time to do it. Don't waste your money on putting extra money into dirt and sand that's going to sink. That should have been done 10 years ago when they bought the land. And I got another question for you. If that was your land, would y'all go buy that land and build your dream house for your family on that? That's the question you got to answer when you think about where you want to put it at. I don't know if you would or not, but I mean, you're talking about 4 to 5 feet of fill. I don't think nobody in here is probably living on that right now. So you want to put our school on it with our kids. It's not right. Thanks.
Thank you for your comment.
When you listened to the meeting the other night, did you hear where there was, can you hear me okay? Did you hear the part where there's an option to buy additional land by the 343?
Are you putting that school in there? You put the football field or a baseball field on there?
The plan would be to put the school on the better property.
Okay.
And
But I mean, I'm not saying that's probably Mr. Sawyer's got good land there. I'm not saying it's not good land.
Yeah.
But I mean, you still got the same problem with the school. You got a problem with 2 schools there together, a half a mile down the road. You're throwing another thing in there. That road can only take but so many cars a day. And I know the survey you sent out said, what you said. I'm sure everybody in South Mills probably said, I want it on 343 because they ain't got to go through that every morning to get to school. Probably everybody in Shiloh probably said, I don't like that idea because I got to go through all that now to get to that school. I mean, it's a catch-22.
Well, the biggest unknown is what DOT is going to do with the traffic pattern down there. If they put in a U-turn down at Indiantown and you got to go all the way down there to turn around, you got to go into Currituck.
Let me ask you a question. Currituck High School has it on a 4-lane.
Yeah.
It happens. It works okay. Hickory High School in Chesapeake has it. No problems.
Currituck County High School has a stoplight.
Do what?
They have a stoplight.
We can probably get a stoplight there. You're going to need one on 343 or you'll never get out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I understand you want to put maybe a turning lane there or a 4-lane or whatever you want right there by the school. you're going to have the same problem you have on 158. I don't know if anybody's rode down 158. I have. On the outside lanes, it's sinking.
Oh, yeah.
And it ain't getting no better. It's because they did the same thing that everybody wants to do to this school property. You're going to have the same problem. Yeah, you can say it's in the building, on the building pad. You can do that, but you got parking. You got a lot of things out there. That is junked dirt. You call it what you want to. It's no good.
But again, we'll put the school and the parking on Mr. Sawyer's land, that option, the better land, once we get it checked out.
But that would work
It is
too.
better
I'm
land.
talking about that land is no
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna put this, we're not
Yeah,
talking.
and
about
that's
the
what he's
school
at,
there.
is at the end of that meeting the other night, we brought them the option to purchase another 40 acres of good land
I understand that.
and use that crappy land for
Maybe a ball field.
a ball field, something that doesn't need that kind of compression and all that. That was what the hope is with those extra 40 acres we can do, is get the school building and parking off of that land and leave the junk land for accessory things like ball fields, a greenhouse for the FFA, something like that that doesn't need as much compression and site pack.
I just want you guys to consider that's junk land. That is no good. I hope y'all understand that. You're not going to put a Band-Aid on it and get it. It's not going to be a golf course. And I think the taxpayers from Camden County, I think the schools, the teachers, and all of them deserve better than put it on land that's going to sink. I mean, don't take my word. Ask around. Somebody ain't got no interest in this. But I mean, I don't see what's wrong with the 158. It's the same cars that travel down here, probably less because some of them that come down here might turn on 343 going that way. Most of the people coming down this way, they're either turning that way or going that way. Anybody that comes from this way right here is going to go by this school, might not go by that school. They're coming from here, they're going to turn down and go down Shiloh, or they're going there, or they're going straight. Anybody that comes this way, I mean, you got the same amount of traffic either way. This school right here don't have a big problem. You can do the same thing you can out here. You can do the turning lanes. I mean, the state's willing to work with you.
We don't know that yet. That's the unknown.
I don't. This is what I don't want to happen. I don't want you guys to be in a bind down the road because all y'all are nice people.
I'm planning on being here for the next 50 plus years, I hope. And I mean, I feel you. I want the same thing you're saying. I don't want to do something. I don't think anybody up here does that we're all going to regret in 10 years. I don't think anybody here is planning on going anywhere for a long, long time.
I promise you, if you put it on there, you're going to regret it if you put it on that dead soil. It was a mistake that Camden County made when they bought the land. I don't want it to happen again because this ain't a $2 million mistake. This is a $50 million mistake. And I know we got time. You got a lot of, you don't have time to play with things. I mean, you got a grant money, and I hope you don't lose it. I mean, I'm not trying to cause a problem. I'm just trying to. I don't want it to be an issue.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I'm
why
saying?
we're looking at other
And
options.
that's the whole reason we went out and reached out and pursued that other option, so that it gives us good land for the building and still leaves us extra land to grow
Right.
athletics and other things that don't need that kind
So
of.
158 is actually considered still in the running, or is that just completely out and everybody's just basing it on Mr.
That's up
Sawyer's
to the
land?
county
It's up to the
commissioner.
county commissioners.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Everyone join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I would like to ask Carol Overton, Director of CTE and the Instructional Technology Facilitator, to join me. Under protest. Dr. Farrell was recently notified by Pam Taylor, Northeast Region CTE Coordinator with the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction, that Ms. Overton has been awarded the NCAC TEA Northeast Region 1 CTE Administrator of the Year at the CTE Summer Conference in 2022 held in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The NCAC TEA is an acronym for North Carolina Administration of Career and Technical Education Administrative Division. Ms. Overton was nominated by her peers in the Northeast and will represent the Northeast region. She will also compete for the North Carolina Administrator of the Year, which will be announced in February of 2023. In her notice to Dr. Farrell, Ms. Taylor stated, "This is evidence of Carol's love for CTE and the students of Camden County." So, Ms. Overton, on behalf of the Camden County Board of Education, I congratulate you on a job well done. That you have been nominated by your peers speaks volumes as to your dedication and work ethic, and thank you for all you do for the CTE programs of Camden County Schools. We'd like to present you with this spotlight. And Ms. Davis wants to get a picture.
No Facebook. Yeah, she loves being on social media. Just make me look tall and skinny.
Congratulations. Open session to appear.
No one has requested.
Consent agenda. Motion to approve the consent agenda made by Mr. Purcell. Seconded by Ms. Idlet. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Information updates, Biden Health Community Programs. Ms. Scott?
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Can
evening.
y'all hear me? Everybody can hear me clear? Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. We're gonna go ahead and start. Just tell y'all just a little brief introduction of us and who we are and what we do, what service we provide, and how we can help the community as well.
Okay, hello. My name is Jessica Johnson,
And my name is Diamond Scott.
and we are the community health worker here for Camden County. We work under ECU Health and Department of Health and Human Services and Rural Health. We provide lots of services, but here's our some that we do. We advocate, we outreach, we link, we network with different agencies. We do different partners with CBOs, which is community-based organizations and more.
Okay, this program was established by Governor Cooper and Rural Health. Are y'all aware of that? Or community health workers? If y'all are not aware, y'all can go on the NCDHS website and y'all type in community health workers and it tell what we do and what we are. Community health workers are to identify the needs that people may need to help them stay stabilized with during this during this COVID pandemic at this moment. So it doesn't matter what socioeconomic status you are in or affected by. Everybody was affected by COVID. Everybody was affected by COVID by spiritually, financially, emotionally, and even physically. And we just want to tell you, we just love what we do. And if y'all need any help, we are here to help. We love to help individuals that need resources to assist them to what they have identified that they need assistance with. So we just want to come to y'all just to say we thank y'all, because without y'all, this program wouldn't be running. It's because of y'all. So thank y'all. That's a little bit about us. Yes, and we have some flyers as well. You're welcome.
School safety and security update, Mr. Lawrence.
I'm good. Some quick updates. So we started some little training last week with the retreat here. Had some discussions, training with the early college staff this week. Dr. Farrell and I went to active shooter training in Pasco Tank. Beginning stages of doing some discussion like that over here. Reached out to Sheriff Jones. Dr. Farrell and I will be meeting with him and his SROs on a monthly basis starting on the 26th. Implementing some new policies. Some of that already rolled out through the early college this week. Should have been some notifications sent out on drop-off points and those kind of things. Most of the staff is trained, and we set some dates going into the school year for incident command stuff. Set up the district safety team meetings second week in September. So we got those, trying to get those formed up and going again. So we just got a lot of things going on right now. The key control's done. We got new radios going out with maintenance has helped Buddy. Reprogramming radios, got new cameras here, some additional cameras here. Behind the early college has been cleaned out, the fence taken down and all that's limbed up and straightened out. Strat-wise, just trimmed up some bushes out front. There were some concerns. We're going to limb up some trees here and at Grandy, getting all that done and doing some other things to kind of secure up some physical security concerns that we have. So, and also working with maintenance and Dr. Farrell on the budget issue for some extra lighting and fencing at Grandy, trying to get all those quotes and get people in here to get that done. So we've got a lot going on, but we're getting there. Any questions? It's a little busy, but stuff you don't necessarily always see, but it's a little bit of time, but I'll keep this wheel going while y'all kind of keep the other wheels going. We'll keep them moving along. So no questions? Everybody good? All right.
Student fees, Superintendent Farrell.
So for your information, we included the student fees that each school charges, and they're listed in 3 categories: the supply fee, the technology fee that each school charges, and any other fees that might be charged, say for a locker or a club fee and that, or band rental. So all of that information was in your packet, and I'll take any questions that you have about fees at this time.
Seeing none, we'll move to the action agenda, CCIP grants.
And
Ms. Anderson?
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
I am presenting for Ms. Hicks tonight. I'm proposing the 22-23 entitlement grants. Within the entitlement grants are Title 1A, Improving Basic Programs, Title 2A, Supporting Effective Instruction, and Title 4A, Student Support and Academic Achievement, which is a part of the CCIP, which is better known as the Comprehensive Continuous Improvement Plan. For Camden County Schools, these entitlement grants establish a targeted assistance program at Grandy Primary School, Camden Intermediate School, and Camden County High School. The purpose of the CCIP, is to provide students with additional instructional support, professional development for teachers, and instructional resources beyond the regular classroom to help low achieving children meet the state standards in core academic subjects. The entitlement funding is based on our district's socioeconomic status, which is determined by our free and reduced lunch rates. It is important to note that as of the last district child nutrition data pool, which was May 27, 2022, Camden County Schools' overall free and reduced lunch rate was 19.32%. Because we have no schools at or above the 35% poverty threshold, funding is based on a 125% PPA, which stands for per pupil amount. For tonight, I'm respectfully asking for approval of the CCIP grant applications for Title I, Title 2A, and Title 4A for the 2022-23 school year. Any questions that I can answer?
My recommendation is that you approve the CCIP grants as presented by Ms. Anderson.
Motion by Ms. Eilert to accept the superintendent's recommendation for approval of CCIP grants as presented by Ms. Anderson.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Purcell. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Facility use fee schedule, Superintendent Farrell.
Our board policy requires that each year we bring to you the fee schedule for outside agencies or citizens renting facilities. And we did not increase those fees at this time for this school year. So I would request that you approve the fee schedule as included in your packet tonight.
Motion by Mr. Purcell to approve the 2022-23 facility use fee schedule as presented by Superintendent Farrell. Seconded by Ms. Eilert. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Parent Square, Ms. Gilligan.
Good evening.
I just want to give you all a little information about Parent Square and what it's able to do for our district. In the past years, we've used Bright Arrows as our alert system. Teachers and coaches have used Class Dojo, Remind, Google Classroom, Seesaw, Class Messenger, just to name a few. Parents that have students at different schools in our districts have been having to follow many different communications platforms for different teachers. Parent Square is a unified app for school communication in which parents and guardians can now receive all announcements from the district and their children's schools and teachers in one place, with options to specify how and when they are notified. Parents can choose if they want phone calls and emails or just text messages, or if they want all ways of communication. They can also opt out of communication just as they could with Bright Arrows. But the only thing with this, if there's an emergency, it would still give them the alert. Parent Square has a mobile application for administrators and parents in iOS and Android. It will send out attendance notifications, and parents will be able to communicate back and let us know why their student was absent or if they're tardy or stuff like that. When an alert or notification is sent out, it can also be sent to our Facebook and Twitter pages. Forms and permission slips will be able to be signed by parents and submitted back to the teachers. Like if there was a field trip, they'd be able to put that information out on Parent Square, and then it would go right back to the teachers. And we're working to hopefully eventually get it to where, like if there's a field trip, then the fees would come through this Parent Square as well. Secure documents such as progress reports, report cards, IEPs, 504s, etc., can be sent to parents, and it has them sign it so that way the teachers know if parents seen them. Most of the time, they get sent home with a kid or something, and it's in the bottom of the book bag. They don't usually ever see it. We've added the link for our new cafeteria program where parents can apply for free and reduced lunch online and put money on their students' accounts. We are in the process of setting up Parent Square so that parents will be able to see their students' lunch balance in the cafeteria. So before, like all the schools would send home letters, but now they'd be able to see it straight in the Parent Square. Parent Square can do mass notifications and urgent alerts with two-way communication. In the event of emergency, it gives us the ability to allow the district office to only send the communication out. So this way, parents aren't getting several messages from schools and teachers. And also, if a parent prefers a different language, they can set it to where all their communication would come in the language they prefer. Also, the teachers would have the ability to set up parent-teacher conference signups by letting a parent select a time that is available on the date and that the teacher chooses, and it'll send out a reminder to the parents of when that conference is and what time it is. Teachers will also have the capability to set up hours that they communicate with parents so they don't feel like they have to respond to a parent that might message them at 11 o'clock at night. It'll let them know that the teacher will respond back, the next morning. I know that some of our schools pay for SMORE, which is a weekly newsletter to teachers. And when Parent Square were able to do like newsletters and stuff that's in there, so teachers will be able to receive it from the principals and stuff, so that we wouldn't have to pay extra for it. Also, as a district or at the schools, we have the ability to send out surveys or polls to parents and guardians. And also in our higher grades, our students will be able to be part of what's called Student Square. So that way, instead of teachers only being able to communicate like through email to them, they'd be able to communicate through Student Square and be able to send, hey, you're missing this assignment and stuff like that. Another good thing with Parent Square is that when a parent corrects a phone number or an address or any contact information, it gives us the ability to print a report so that way we can update PowerSchool, and then hopefully all our PowerSchool data will be a whole lot compatible with all the different changes going on. A message went out tonight to all parents and staff about Parent Square, and an invitation is going to be sent from the district and the schools, to invite the parents to join. I think Parent Square will be very helpful and beneficial for our district in many ways, and we'll be able to eliminate other services and save money. So, any questions or anything?
How secure? I mean,
It's a I don't know the name of the security, but it is like compatible with DPI, so that way it's a secure server that it's going through. And basically, what it's doing is it's off of our Power School, and it communicates back and forth. So really, it's not. It's actually just coming from our Power School, and then that is secure through the DPI website.
it's kind of making us paperless with all the forms and everything.
Yeah.
Combine
Yeah,
about
'cause
8 different
we'll be
ways
able
of
to,
communication with them.
Yeah, it's nice.
Because we were going to go with Scribbles, the forms, but it was going to cost us like $3,600. And with this, we'll be able to do it all. And then, like I said, the teachers kind of complained last year because like the media and the photo release form, they weren't seeing them all because we had to do like a report. Well, now we can have it to where it goes out from the teachers, and they'll be able to see all the forms come back. And they'll be able to say, okay, little Johnny got all his stuff in. And so I think it'll be a better communication piece.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
So my recommendation tonight is for formal approval of the contract with Parent Square that has been shared with you all previously and by Ms. Gilligan tonight.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Allen to accept the superintendent's recommendation for approval of the Parent Square contract.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Heath. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Activity bus proposal, Mr. Lawrence.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Come before you to get approved to hopefully a new activity bus for the school fleet to replace one of our units now that's 26 years old. And we put the money in capital for this year and everything. And I'd like to see if we can replace one of our old buses and update our fleet a little bit.
Any questions?
Then my recommendation is that you approve the proposal to purchase an activity bus as presented by Mr. Lawrence.
Motion by Mr. Purcell to accept the superintendent's recommendation for approval of purchase of activity bus as presented by Mr. Lawrence. Seconded by Dr. Banks. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Lawrence, you'll continue with the ALP mobile unit
Yeah,
connections.
when I came before you a few months ago, I was asked to get a second quote to go along with the one that I had, which we've done. You have it in your folder. I'd like to get that approved if possible for the low bidder so we can try to get the supplies on order and hopefully get them here by the time the unit gets here. So McPherson Enterprises is the low bidder, and I would hope we can get that approved so we can get that project moving also.
What's the time frame on the unit getting here?
A unit's supposed to be off the assembly line September 1st. I hope to have it here by the 15th of the month.
Any other questions for Mr. Lawrence?
Then my recommendation is that you approve Mr. Lawrence's request to go with McPherson, is that correct, for electrical and plumbing
Electrical, plumbing, everything, fire alarm, everything that goes in it.
for setting up for the new alternative learning program mobile unit.
Motion by Dr. Banks to accept the superintendent's recommendation for the ALP mobile unit utility connections for McPherson Enterprises as presented by Mr. Lawrence.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Purcell. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Policy 3200 and 3210. previously tabled for review at this next meeting.
Make a motion to table the policy again.
Motion by Dr. Banks that we table policy 3200 and 3210 to a subsequent school board meeting.
Second.
Further review. Seconded by Mr. Purcell. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Superintendent's recommendation for closed session, employment of personnel.
Yes, my recommendation is that you approve the personnel report as presented by Ms. Davis in closed session with the effective date amended to read the 22-23 school year.
Motion by Mr. Purcell to accept the superintendent's recommendation for employment as amended with the 22-23 school year as presented by Ms. Davis in closed session. Seconded by Ms. Idlet. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Announcements. The North Carolina School Board Association Annual Conference will be held on Monday, November 14th through Wednesday, November 16th at the Sheraton Four Seasons in Greensboro, North Carolina. As soon as you know, if you could let Miss Anita know so she can make her accommodations as proper. Does anyone else have any other announcements? Does anyone need to see any future agenda items for the board? Seeing none, I entertain a motion to recess open session and return to close. Motion by Dr. Banks to recess open session and return to closed session. Seconded by Ms. Idlet. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We're back in closed session. Thank everyone for coming this evening.